Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 22. So the plan of today's video is going to be replicate Ayumi Sasaki's performance in the Red Bull Ring of Austria just a few days ago by winning the race and taking 2 long lap penalties within the process as we get a massive moment into the Nicky Lauda curve for turn 1. Then that was a scary moment if I do say so, but what a great start from the back of the grid up to 16th position. Now it's time to exchange with the riders to do battle and try and win this Grand Prix. So into the left hand side we'll go for the 2B or turn 3 as it says in the video game. We're up to 15th. My only plan and goal in this video is to get to the front as soon as possible and take those long lap penalties. Gotta try and gauge when to take them, but I think doing them straight away when the AI is bunched, we can get a lot of slipstream and we can start chasing them down. That's the goal for my plan in this video today. So into the innocuous turn 4, we're going to be very firm on the brakes, and we'll go into the right hand side. Keep it in nice and tight and around the outside of Daniel Holgado. Of course, brilliant performance from Holgado in the Red Bull Ring of Austria. And now we'll try and get the change of direction to Ricky Rossi. Oh, he's holding me up at somewhat. We have to try and come on through. Sorry, Ricky. Up on the inside. Sasaki bungs him out the way, and Holgado fancies a little bit of a lunge into the left hand side. So Tatsuki Suzuki ahead of us, of course, second place in the Grand Prix of Austria. Brilliant performance from the 2 Japanese men. Really top notch, and great sportsmanship at the end of the Grand Prix as well. But Ayumi Sasaki was unbelievable. And sometimes with those long lap penalties, I think the riders' inhibitions and fear of not having a good race just disappears. So the likes of Pedro Acosta, who started from pit lane last year in Qatar and won the Grand Prix, Ayumi Sasaki with a double long lap penalty, just goes out the window. There's no fear. Just go for it. See what best result you can get. And Sasaki was on his game. So here we go then. For the very first time, the first long lap penalty of 2. Munoz has just gone down. Another crash behind. Oh, it's carnage to the right hand side there. And goodness me, I can barely turn in. That corner is weird. That long lap penalty really sucks you in to just stop you from turning into the left hand side. So if you are going to try this challenge, be very careful in the long lap penalty. I almost actually blew it. So be very careful. Don't do what I did. Well, at least try to do similar, but do it better. You can. So into turn 3 then. We're going to try and keep to the actual corner numbers, what they use in real MotoGP, by calling that chicane 2A and 2B. So if you are concerned that I'm not saying the right number in the game, don't be. I'm using it from the real perspective. For example, this is turn 4, but in the game it says turn 5. So into the right hand side, in the rear of Joel Kelso, and Joel Kelso, you are in the way. I've got to get through. I really need to get through. So to the left hand side here, oh, that's a brave lunge. Trying to go for double overtake there. It's not really going to pay off for us. Mino got shoved wide. He'll not be happy about that one. And now Kelso really oh goodness me, he brakes way too early there. Kelso, we brake later. We've got to brake later than that, mate. And now he's holding me up. This is costing me valuable time and costing me fuel. My concern is that I will have to drop down to power setting 2 at some point. It's just a matter of when. So into turn 10 we'll go then for the right hand side. Nice and tight for the Red Bull Mobile corner as we bring on the power. Yamanaka ahead of us. I think we might be alright to do it. I've only got a bit of time to think about this now, so I'm going to do it. Let's just commit, and then we're going to have to work extremely hard to chase the front runners down. So into the... oh, no way. A gift from God. Guevara and Garcia are down. Oh, actually, no, but there's still Artigas and Masia. I thought that was going to be it. Oh, wow. If Artigas is now, 5 seconds ahead of us? Yeah, no, this is still on. This is still going to be a challenge. This is exactly what I feared was going to happen. That someone was going to just stay out to the front and start churning out the lap times. Because one thing we have to remember here, guys, the AI in MotoGP 22 gets really strong towards the latter stages of the Grand Prix. So it's vital that we use the power setting now, if we can, to get them, but then start to reduce the power to start using the slipstream and focusing and making sure that they don't try and overtake me. Now, to remember as well, I did do an entire MotoGP 22 career mode in Moto 3, majority of the time using power setting 1, sometimes power setting 2, so I think we should be okay. I think we should have this one in the bag, but still, with plenty of laps remaining, we should be fine. But I tell you what, there's a sense of fear that I might not get this done, so I'm going to be pushing now. I'm going to really work hard, and I'm very sorry to Anna Carrasco there, almost pushing her off of the circuit. But we do have Kaito Toba ahead of us, so we lost around 5 positions since where we was, so that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. And look at Yamanaka on the podium. Brilliant performance from him as we go to the right-hand side. Speaking of Japanese riders, excuse me, Kaito Tobra now up at the inside of Carlos Tatai. That's a late lunge, and that's even later lunge, going up at the inside of Ethan Guevara. Now, one thing, I guess, MotoGP 22's AI being not the best is kind of good for challenges like these, but also at the same time, it would make that challenge even more sweeter as we dive up the inside and not one but two into the first corner. Ethan Guevara has just gone down for the second time in this Grand Prix. Goodness me, so you can see in the evidence, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. The right-hand side of your screen there, 3.3 seconds quicker than the previous lap time with that long lap penalty. Oh, abusing track limits there will probably find us another long lap penalty. Now, I'm not trying to do 3, I'm only hoping for 2. So we've got to make sure we stay within the track limits and not push it too and far beyond. So into the slipstream of Joel Kelso, 3.6 seconds clear from the previous lap time of a 1:44.039. So firm on the brakes will go, bringing it into the nice tight part of the apex of turn 4. A little bit of a slide, but we're still good. The medium-hard combination could be the combination for us to win here. Kelso was trying to defend, but Sasaki will come on through. A little bit of contact, but nothing to get too egregious, so nothing too offensive. We do go up the inside of Kelso, and we are now into 4th position. The gap has come down exponentially, actually. It's down to 2.5 seconds, but, and this is a rather large however, we are on power setting 3 for now. How much longer can we stay in the 3rd power setting? Firm on the brakes, will go in from the right hand side, keep it in nice and tight, bring on the acceleration and brake nice and early for the final corner here in the Red Bull Ring of Austria. Bring on the power nice and early, and we are now into the slipstream of Yamanaka across the line. This is going to be a stellar lap across the line, a 1:47.22. Was that maybe a second quicker than Artigas ahead of us as we now go firm on the brakes, pushing Yamanaka wide? It's not really what I had in plan, but it's going to stick, and we've got it done. So we are now up into the top 3 positions on the podium for the very first time of this Grand Prix as we now go firm on the brakes. Oh, running it wide, running it deep, losing a lot of time there, and oh goodness me, a track limit warning. I thought that was a bit harsh. I did allow Jamamasi to come back on through, but if the game says so, the game says so. I don't fancy a 3rd long lap penalty, so we'll try and avoid it, but back up on the inside, the cutback of Jamamasi here, and I don't know why that happens. Bit of contact with another rider, and the game decides to wheelie, so dropping the power down to power setting 2 now then. If we're going to be in an exchange, and we have a rider ahead of us, we can use power setting 2 to gauge where Artigas is going to be. It's a 1.4 second gap, and now with power setting 2, this is going to be interesting. I really don't want that fuel to say -2 laps. I don't want it to go anywhere near that, so I'm going to drop it down, and if we need, or if we have the fuel available, then I'll use power setting 3, but for now, I'm quite content with power setting 2. I still believe we are quicker than Xavi Artigas ahead of us with only using power setting 2. So we're not going to get into the 1:44 laps now. Not without all that slipstream, not without all that acceleration and power from 3. This is down to it. Into the podium battle, and now into the battle for the lead. We have a chance of completing this fantastic challenge. Is a little bit... Ooh, steady, steady! Oh my god. Hearts in mouths. I've done 5 laps, almost 6 laps of effort now to try and break it all into the final corner. I went a little bit too tight to the apex for turn 10 there and made a massive mistake. Well, made a massive mistake. I think he missed a gear or something. We gained a lot of speed coming out of the first corner, but I gotta confess, the front tyre doesn't feel as comfortable as it did, so I'm gonna have to be very careful here. Gotta keep on pushing though at the same time. It's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one as Masia fancies getting involved once again. I really hope he's not going to try and hinder our progress here. To the right-hand side for turn 3, bringing on the power. We do have a good chance of chasing Artigas down with power setting 2, but into that final corner, my heart was in my mouth, ladies and gentlemen. I pushed it way beyond limits, just touching the apex. I thought it was over. I really did. But a 0.7 of a second advantage, running it deep into turn 4. We have a chance. We still definitely have a chance, but do we need power setting 3? I'm being told that we are now back into the fuel, so plus 0.9 laps, which I'm a little bit surprised. I didn't think I could use power setting 3 for that duration of race, as Xavi Artigas is a good, long look over his shoulder. He's probably wondering, how the hell is Ayumi Sasaki there? Has he forgotten to take his long lap penalties? Who knows? Well, bringing on the power coming out of turn 9. Xavi Artigas in the lead with a 9/10 of a second advantage. Masia in third with just less than 3/10. The Red Bull KTM team are going to be loving this performance. And of course, Husqvarna, which is basically a KTM anyway, and then Xavi Artigas in the lead. KTM are having a wonderful, wonderful day. So bringing on the power, 5.5 of a second is the gap across the line, a 41.7. So a whole second slower than power setting 3, but that's still a pretty stellar lap if I do say so. So we're now into the right hand side, careful, we really don't fancy touching the apex into that corner or going too wide and earning ourselves another long lap penalty, but firm on the brakes, we have taken the lead for the very first time of this race. We are now leading the way as, Artigas fancied a lunge up at the inside, the change of direction. Brilliantly done from Artigas, fair play to him there as we now go firm on the brakes, out-braking the man on the left-hand side of your screen. We do take over in the top position, but for how long is Artigas going to have a good drive? The gap is roughly 1/10 of a second, it's somewhat oscillating, but we still have the lead on lap 7 of 12. And if we're in this situation now with power setting 2, I think we've sorted it. I think this one's in the bag. It's all down to seeing what we can produce now. We are ahead of Artigas. We're going to lose a lot of time with that small battle, but I'm pretty convinced we're going to get some good lap times here. So into the left-hand side for Roche. Xavi Artigas, good lord! He absolutely launched an assault then. Does he have a Moto ride? Just give him an almighty whack up on the inside, which is basically just the rebranded KTM if you didn't know, and absolutely slammed us into turn 7. That was ridiculous. Is Artigas not going to let this one go without a fight? It does seem that is the case. So the Spanish assault that we have going on right now behind Ayumi Sasaki, the race leader, Artigas is still there, and I wouldn't bet against Masia. I believe he's there as well, but I just don't really know where he is on screen. I'm guessing he's going to be behind Artigas, but he'll have a good slipstream here as well as what Artigas is going to have. So I'm going to move over to the right-hand side. Speaking of Masia, ask and you shall receive. Masia up into the top 2 positions. Nice and tight to the apex there. Artigas! Artigas has gone down. Oh, can you believe it? It's now a 2-way shoot between Sasaki and Masia for the Grand Prix win here in Styria, and Joel Kelso into the podium positions. Excellent result for him, and look at that top 8. That's an unbelievable top 8, ladies and gentlemen. Sasaki, Masia, Kelso, Yamanaka, Tatai, Moreira, Foggia and Ana Carrasco up into 8th position. What a stellar race that has been for the young lady, but tell you what, this has been a brilliant challenge. If you have any more challenge ideas, let me know in the comment section down below. I really wanted to do this double on that penalty, and it looks like we're going to do it if we can keep Masia at bay. Still not using power setting 3, saving that if we need it. Now we know what the AI is like in MotoGP 22. They get stronger as the race progresses. So our goal here is to get even stronger, to push this Husqvarna to the limit and get the fastest laps if we possibly can do. But Masia is still there, and he is not letting me go. What a race we have on our hands right now as Masia gets held up in the corner. He's much quicker than me in the change of directions. Well, of course, for him, he is still using power setting 3, so straights and change of directions like that is where he's going to be really strong. Our strengths, braking, and gradual corners where we can just hang in a little bit and go full throttle, full power. So we'll see what happens, but across the line, we are going to set another good lap time, somewhat relatively consistent with the lap time before, but there is Masia. We do need some clear space to start doing in some good lap times, but Masia has taken over at the front, getting pushed wide there. Let's take the evasive action. It's our second track limit warning, and what has just happened to Masia? He's just lost all drive into the first corner. So that 1 second advantage could be more than enough for us now. I guess we should really, I don't know. It wasn't my fault that Masia went so slow there. I mean, he did outbrake himself and then touch the apex, so it's not really my fault. I just had to try and take evasive action, but I'm not particularly pleased with having a small penalty, bear in mind. I don't really want any more than that penalties. I've done enough in this Grand Prix. I've actually done more. I would have done them before I even got them in the game, so surely they'll take that into consideration. But into the braking zone for turn 4, of course, a extremely difficult braking zone, and the gap is 7/10 of a second. 6 and a bit, so Sasaki is still leading this Grand Prix, but for now, is Masia going to be leading the charge soon. He's still there, and you know he wants it. You know he wants to get involved, and I can't wait. I hope he does catch me, and I hope we can do battle to the end of this Grand Prix. But the goal now is to push like mad. Just push like hell and just give it everything we've got to keep Masia at bay. If we've got this lead at this point and he makes that same mistake into turn 1, then we're laughing. I think a lot of the rides have been doing that in this Grand Prix. I think that's why we've had so many crashes, because some of them just lose all drive into turn 1. I don't know if it's just an AI glitch or if it's just not human error, because of course it's now artificial intelligence, but there's some sort of error going along the way. But across the line, it is an improvement. It's now a 1:42.687, so that's 3 laps in a row. We've slowly improved, or excuse me, 2 laps in a row, because of course we did do the 1:41.723 earlier on, but we had the assistance of Slipstream, and the AI has made that same mistake. And so did Kelso. Masia Yamanaka are now on the podium. Carlos Tatai fancies getting on the podium to add to the Spanish tally, but for now, it's 2 Japanese riders on the podium and 1 Spaniard, looking very similar to what we had in the Styrian race just a couple of days ago. But now I'm beginning to think maybe I've done too many laps. I've actually done a sprint race here today. It's 50% laps of the 100% duration, and that's for another debate. I did a video on the debate of the sprint races a few days ago, but I do want to actually look into that in more detail soon. But for now, I think I've chose too many laps. The only difference would be is that I was able to use power setting 3 for as long as I did, but we are really quick. It's just that I don't know. Maybe we'll have to look into this challenge again. Maybe look into another challenge. I know last year I did a bit of MotoGP 21 from starting at the back of the grid and then winning the race. I believe in Moto 3 we did a ride-through penalty and still won the race. So, got more challenges to do, but I'm definitely going to think about doing more, and I really can't wait to see what else we can produce. But I'm thinking that maybe I did too many laps in this one. I didn't have much confidence into this going in. I thought I could do it. I was pretty confident I could do it actually, but I just wasn't sure what lap times I would need. So if I did too little amount of lap times and I ran out of power setting 3, or well, I ran out of fuel so I couldn't use power setting 3, it would be a bit different. But tell you what, across the line, what a lap time! A 1:42.1 at this stage of the Grand Prix, with those tyres, especially the medium front that's not looking too grand, and the hard rear is actually a pretty good decision, if I do say so. And there is Ryusuke Yamanaka up into the top 3. We do have 2 Japanese riders on the podium now. That could exchange as this race goes on, but Jama Masia 2.2 seconds behind. We could get a 3-second advantage here. This is going to be amazing, and funnily enough, I do believe if you get a long lap penalty and you don't take the lap time or the long lap penalty, you do get a 3-second penalty added to the end of the Grand Prix. So I think we could even get a 3rd long lap penalty and still win with the advantage. But my only goal now is just to be consistent with power setting 2. It's been a while since I've raced in Moto 3, and I gotta say, I love these Moto 3 bikes. I really miss my Moto 3 career mode. That was the best career mode I've done. I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, it wasn't as competitive as I would have wanted. I really wanted the AI to beat me up a little bit, but it never happened. And I do have the MotoGP Moto 2 career mode to do, and oh my goodness, there is another track limit warning. 2 more of those metaphorical slaps on the wrist, and we'll be getting another long lap penalty. And I think I could actually do another long lap penalty, but I'm not pushing it. There's a certain level of confidence, and I'm not going to exceed it. I'm not going to sit here and start being cocky about doing another 3rd long lap penalty and then probably not winning the race. So we're not going to play with fire, because you play with fire, you get your arse burned, and I'm not doing that in today's video. So let's see what we can produce now into this final lap. We've actually just improved the laps again. We're into the 1:41s, ladies and gentlemen. That is another improvement. And that's one thing I really noticed with MotoGP 22. Did a lot with MotoGP 21, but 22, I do improve my lap times as the race progresses, and there is Yamanaka and Tatai going down. So Kelso, a podium finisher is you, my friend, if you stay on board that motorcycle. That's excellent. But getting back to my point, I do feel with MotoGP 22, it's the one that I am really consistent with. And I love being consistent, and I'm quite proud of how I race in MotoGP 22. And this is going to be blasphemous to some people, but I actually prefer GP22 now to Ride 4. I love the way the bike feels, and I love the way the brakes work, because you can feel the bike locking on the front, and it feels difficult, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the challenge, I really do. And I really Really enjoyed this challenge. This has been brilliant. Brilliant to commentate, brilliant to race, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll definitely make more videos like these. I know you guys want to see the career mode, the other guides that I've got doing. We're going to do them all, but I just need a bit of time. I'm just trying to fit everything in. I've got so many ideas, so many races, so many different tracks to do time trial challenges on, etc. I'm going to try and fit it all in, I promise you. But on this final lap, we may or may not improve. Not really bothered at this point anyway. I just think we've done an excellent job. We've been on power setting 2 for the past couple of laps. We've improved every single time. And we are going to cross the line as victorious as we are with Ayumi Sasaki with a double long lap penalty. What a performance. So guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed that one. Even if you enjoyed it half as much as I did, I would implore you to hit the like button and consider subscribing as well. But guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure to make this for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.